Chapter 51, Part 1 of Choujin X Batista, he's trying to find a perfect host so that way he could transfer the mark of the beast to that host. And when he was talking to the Elder Vlad is actually losing patience because they actually lost the poppy field. Zora's health is declining. And the Yamano Mori, they're about to strike at any moment. And Batista is trying to explain to him, like, hey, I just can't eject this drug to anybody. Like, yes, if I can inject this to people, certain people's children powers are going to be awakened, but also as well, there's a chance that during the whole transfer of the mark, the Zora's powerful blood will cause them to explode. So, like, hey, there's so many things that can go wrong, and we just need a perfect subject who has like the cells and the DNA to can hold that, drug and the transfer of the mark, because he was like a subject like Tokyo is short of a mystery and a miracle, because when Tokyo injected himself, he had the capability to actually receive the mark. So Batista, he's trying to explain that to the Elder Vlad, and the Elder Vlad is losing constantly patience because time is running out. Later throughout the chapter, we found out that the Elder actually was one of the candidates to actually receive the mark of the beast, but he ultimately failed. And as that's happening, Batista, he goes on ahead and walking and figured out that the Yamano Mori is about to go on ahead and do battle. And as he's just walking, suddenly something is taking control over his body, as we see like a whole bunch of hands is popping out of his back, and he's literally freaking out. He's trying to gain control over his body, but it looks like he's in pain and suffering, as this thing is saying that a failure, I will kill you, give it up to me, do it, you can't do it, hurry up, hurry up, hurry up, you talentless hack, as he inject himself with the drug so that way he can get control over his body. And we see that these tentacle arms are reverted back inside of him as he's laying down and catching his breath, as he's breathing hard and he's just thinking of his girlfriend, and he's saying that, Haley, I will take you to the place we promised to, as it seems as if that this is what the effects of what happened to Batista when he made a deal with the Chimera, because we all know that he made the deal with that beast, but we don't know like what happened, what was the results of like his girlfriend. So because something has to happen for like Batista to be like that, and it looks like it didn't go well. So after that, part 2 of this chapter, we found out that the Yamano Mori, they already planned a date to when they're going to invade the Omega Tower and actually strike and cause the next war against Zora, which is going to be Christmas Day. So they decided that they plan who's going to take certain areas and how they're going to do it. And they had all of the members of the top Choujins around like the world or where they are in Choujin X to agree upon this. And so after that, Tokyo, we see that Tokyo is just viewing what he's going to do, because even though he dropped out, all of his friends' lives are moving on. Like we see that Momoma and Simon, they're going to go to college and do other things. And then we also see that, Azuma and Ellie, they're going to go to college and just a whole bunch of other stuff. So at this time, Tokyo, he's just walking around in these streets, and then he sees a woman. And at first he's checking out the woman and he's just like, oh, she got some nice titties. And then not realizing that it is his high school teacher that we saw in chapter 1. And so he's freaking out. And then she's in shock to see Tokyo. And she actually praised Tokyo and actually acknowledged him and actually was telling him thank you, because Tokyo, when he dropped out because he's trying to figure out what he wants to do in life. And that gave her the courage to do the thing that she wants to do. And that's actually to travel the world and to teach. So throughout this whole chapter, we see her like actually thanking Tokyo for giving her the courage to actually go on ahead and do that. And we see that Tokyo has been a huge inspiration. And that's just pretty much what we got from that part of chapter 51. But in part 3, we continue where we left off from part 2. 2, where everybody knows when they're going to actually strike against Zora and the Omega Tower, which is going to be Christmas Day. And apparently that's Ozuma's birthday as well. So everyone is discussing like how they are very much scared of the whole situation, because this is the time that they actually might die, because the people who are in this room is Tokyo, Ellie, Ozuma, Pamela, Simon, Momoma, and then we also have Michelangelo and Michael. And Michael is freaking out because he's telling everyone that when he was in that raid, when they actually attacked Zora, Zora grazed him, and his face, parts of his face, is not healed. Like, no matter how much he tries to heal it, it still shows a massive scar. And he was like, at this time, he was just like, his skill, his power compared to Zora is like, I'm a human and Zora's the ultimate Choujin. And so he's like freaking out and he's scared because, one, he doesn't want to die. Two, he doesn't want his comrades to die. And three, it is happened to be Ozuma's birthday, which is automatically a jinx. And so everyone, they're discussing like plans on like how they're going to do Ozuma's birthday, but also to their thoughts and how they are afraid of actually dying, and that they got to continue on doing what they have to do because this is the thing that they signed up for, and also too is their duty and stuff as well. And Momoma is actually helping Michael, kind of cheer up, because she stated that she's also afraid as well. She's scared, and she's scared of it every day because you don't know what's going to happen every day. So basically in part 3, we just go into more details in character development in between the interaction of everyone hearing about this news. And it was really kind of funny because how the most people who were freaking out was Michael, and it was actually Palma, because she was freaking out as well too, because she was just like, wait, like, I don't want to die. And then so in Tokyo, he had this attitude like, well, it is what it is. And Pamela was just like, well, can I transform you guys into zombies? Which was very funny. And then Simon, he's just like, wait, zombies? And it showcased like in that sentence when Simon repeated himself saying zombies, it kind of indicate that Simon doesn't really understand Pamela's powers. And that's just something that's just very interesting. But overall, throughout this chapter, they also explain like how Azuma, Tokyo, and Ellie, how they felt when they actually awakened their Choujin powers. And especially too, like how Azuma, he stated that when he awakened it, he actually felt helpless. And the same thing too with Tokyo and Ellie, they all said that they were weak and alone. And so now, like, they're all just trying to cheer each other up after hearing the news about them going to war with the most powerful Trojan in the earth. So at this time, this chapter is just kind of like pretty much solidify and just give a nice conclusion on everyone's thought process of hearing the news about the invasion that's happening on Christmas Day. And it looks like chapter 51 part 4, if we probably might get that, or this is probably just the end of chapter 51, but we'll wait to see until like next week when the latest chapter drop. But let me know down in the comment section how you guys feel about this latest chapter of Choujin X. Sorry, you guys, for the past couple of weeks of not giving you Choujin X content. I was extremely busy, but now I'm back. And here you guys go. And I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Be decent. And yeah, peace.